Okay, here we are again. Computer problems taken care of. Ultimate crash averted for the time being. It appears as though I had critically low disk space. Thank you to my broadcast studio saving a copy of every single live video I made, and me not realizing that I was keeping those indefinitely. So I went in and I deleted about 35-40 gigabytes of video files, and my computer is fine once again. It appears as though everything is working fine. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this new reveal. This particular one is a First National Bank of Chicago roll from 1957. 1957 Denver. And we are going to get started on that right now. Let me go ahead and open up the ends of the roll. Hello, Carl. So I think others will start showing up sometime soon. I told them I'd be back around 1 o'clock. So it's 12:53 here. In the wonderful state of North Carolina. And here we go. Just about got it ready. Here we are. Paper over the coins as usual. And I have a 50 coin ready. 50 coin roll here. And Ant gets the first coin. First one in the roll is this right here. Yeah, let's see what this looks like to me. It appears relatively on the normal side so far. We'll take a look at the reverse side on the first 10 coins in the roll. 1957D is not known for double die reverses, so for the most part, we'll skip the areas where things are not known to exist. We are going to check the first 10 coins just to be sure, and it looks like Ant gets a normal coin. Hello, Brian. We've got Andy, Paul, P. Adams, Carl, Brian, and anyone else who happens to show up anytime soon. Here's Crispy. See what Crispy ends up with. Crispy gets coin number 2 in the roll. Hey, looky, there is a nice looking RPM right there. That is a nice one. I don't remember which number that is specifically, but that is a nice RPM right there, 1957D. Brian might be able to help me with that one. Hello, Robert. There's Tim Corral. Come back in. But this one also appears that it could be... I'm not seeing it in Liberty, but on the date it looks like it could be a minor double die too. The 9 and the 7, actually all 4 digits of the date appear as though they could have some doubling on the top. Let's try to get my lighting corrected a little bit here. Hang on just a moment. Get a little light on my subject here. Yeah, I'll turn my scope down a little bit. Turn my camera exposure down. There. That'll get us closer to a more realistic looking picture. Wow, I like that RPM. Nice RPM right there. Alright, this is coin number 2. Coin number 2 in the roll. Nice RPM. Let's take a look at the reverse on this one and see what we end up with here. Nothing specific here. Nice coin though. Crispy gets himself a nice RPM. Let's take a look now at coin number 3. Coin number 3 goes to Mr. Perez. Ron Perez. What do we have here? Well, Looks like we do have a minor split lower serif RPM. I'm not sure this one's going to be a listable RPM, but we do have a little split on the upper and the lower serif. Baby splits. Let's take a look at this in a little bit better light, a little better focus. You can see that the upper has a little split right there. And then the split on the lower, I'll crank the coin around, make it a little easier to see. And it's one of our little triple splits. There's a little tiny split there, and a little tiny split there, making for 1, 2, 3 lower serifs. This may be one of the listable ones. May not be. I don't know, we'll just have to figure it out. We're going to mark this one with the die markers that you see right here. You've got a nice die scratch running through the 5 and one straight up and down next to the 9, between the 9 and the 5. So we'll know this die next time we run into it for sure. Hello, Dennis. Alright, I'll move on now. Hang on just a second, let me get this back in focus, back in good focus. I'll move on, we'll see if we can find a double die on this one. Nothing there. Nothing in this area. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse. We are only on coin number 3 in the roll. We're going to go through the first 10 on the reverse side. There's a nice little die crack right there. Crack runs into the lower right wheat, runs up, and there's a nice die chip in the right wheat. There's another nice little die chip in the upper right wheat. Nothing else specifically to speak for in this particular coin. We're going to go ahead and move on. It's going to be coin number 3, moving on now to coin number 4. Stephen Dallas comes up next on coin number 4. Let's take a look at what we have here. Okay, I'm showing what could be just mint mark damage on the lower serif. And nothing really to speak for around the date mint mark area on this one. I'm going to get a little better focus and keep moving. Nothing on the eye. Nothing in the motto. And looking at the reverse on this one, I've got nothing. All right. So that's for Stephen Dallas. We'll move on to coin number 5 now. Penny Hoarder. Let's see what we have for Penny Hoarder. Yeah, it looks like I've got nothing on the date and mint mark again. Nothing I can make out anywhere else on the obverse. Let's go ahead and move this out just a little bit so it takes less time to view each side. Move it out to about there. Yeah, it should be a little more digestible. I have to look at the entire coin all at once, but also don't have to look at a little tiny sliver of the coin. Hello, Taco John. Here's coin number 6 now, Mr. Crowell. Let's see what we have here from Mr. Crowell. Okay, I'm going to have to come in just a little bit tighter. Figured that might happen. Don't want to miss anything. Looks like I don't have a whole lot going on here. On the obverse anyway. There is a die chip in the lower B. And nothing on the reverse. So I'll just keep moving. We have found one nice RPM in this roll so far. One really minor one. I think we might have just found another RPM. I don't know. Who wants to tell me about this one? It looks as though we may have something sticking up out of the top of the mint mark with a little bit on the inside. I'm going to have to hold this one out and have it checked on. This one also is for Crispy. Crispy running all the good out of this roll. We'll see if anybody finds that one as a listed RPM. Not sure that there's anything listed that looks like this. But what I'm looking at, or what appears to be the doubled part to me, there is a couple of little horizontal lines running on the inside of the mint mark. This stuff right here, and then this thing right here looks like a little post sticking up out of the top of the mint mark. 1909 VDB AU53 and the change machine at the grocery store. How about that? That's something you're not going to be able to say you see every day. I mean, heck, I see them quite often, but I don't see them at the grocery store hardly ever. Okay, minor RPM. I'm going to go ahead and look at the reverse on this one. Telling you, I really wish I could find a double die reverse on a 1957 D Lincoln cent, but so far I have never seen anything that would be worth stopping the show for. Coin number 8, Donnie Wayne. Let's see what Donnie Wayne ends up with here. This one looks relatively normal as well. Once in a great while, you'll see these later 50s with a little bit of doubling right here on the bottom of the B. You have to be watching out for that. That would be a listable double die should we find any of it. I'll flip this upside down and check the serifs, or check the corners on there again, and there's nothing there, so we're going to flip it over and take a look at the reverse and see what we can see. In the reverse, we have 2 coins beyond this one to check the reverse of, to see if there is anything worth listing. A little bit of a struck through on the end there, but other than that, nothing at all. Coin number 9. Number 9 goes to Deanne. And let's see what Deanne's going to pick up. Coin number 9 is... Okay, we could have a split lower serif going on here. Let's check and see. There. Had to get my lighting a little bit lower down. Now this one looks like the damaged mint mark punch. We have a lot of different ones that we're seeing that appear to have a tripled split on the lower serif, and they just don't. They appear at first to have that triple split, and you look into it, it's actually not a split at all. Or if it is, it would be something caused at the point where the punch was created. Not necessarily punch damage, but doubling on the punch created by whatever process they used to make the punch, because a lot of the mint marks that you see punched by that punch have the exact same apparent doubling on the lower part of the lower serif. That, to me anyway, is not a listable RPM because there are too many that are exactly alike. Not fun. Coin number 10, Sureg. Coin number 10 comes out as... Okay, also not an RPM. Unless, no, wait a minute. Okay, this is another one of those with that fuzz on the inside of the mint mark, and that thing on top of the mint mark is not there on this coin. So that kind of tells me whatever it was I was seeing on the top of the mint mark was some sort of a anomaly for that one coin. I'm going to get that coin out again to compare these two together. This coin number 7 that I'm showing you now, it's crispy. And I'll move these two coins so that they are parallel to one another. And here's the one we just found. Come on, lighting. Be nice to me. Okay, there's the one we just found. And then this is coin number 7. It's obviously the same die. But that thing that looks like something on the top is probably just a stain or a couple of stains on the coin. But that thing in the middle of the mint mark is indeed there. It is indeed a hump. You can tell these are from the same die because of the die scratches I see right here. A bunch of concentric die scratches on the lapel. Now look on this other coin, they're also on this one. Let's see if we can find another marker that'll match up between the two. Anytime you find 3 markers the same, oh, those concentric die scratches are very strong and they still exist throughout the neck and ear area, where on this coin they do also. So these are definitely the same die repeated in 2 coins. I'll put Crispy's coin back. That was coin number 7. And this one is Sureg's coin. Coin number 10. Pop that into a holder and move on to coin number 11 now. Coin number 11 will be Tim Crowell. And what does Tim get? And we need to back out a little bit, but this one's showing as no RPM. Looks like we found nothing for double dies in this roll, which, well, can sort of be expected. There we go. Get us out to a good looking distance here. Check the eye. Nothing on the eye. Nothing else on this one. Now number 12 to Malcolm. What is this I see here? There's a minor lower split serif. Probably too minor to do anything with. You see my finger moving in and out to create a different angle of lighting so I can see what's going on. If I had a more professional instrument to do that with, you wouldn't notice my pink little finger popping up in there. But this one is normal. Nice condition on these coins. It's a pretty roll. Very decent gemmy looking coins. This one's for Angie. Oh, there we go. There's another different RPM. This is got a nice lower split serif. It's got nice doubling on the inside of the upper part of the vertical, and it's got upper serif split. Show you what I'm talking about once I can get the lighting adjusted so that it's easier to see. Okay, so this one shows what appears to be the tripling on the upper serif. And then it's got doubling on, a tripling on the lower serif. Bum, bum, bum. And then you've got doubling on the upper serif. And then you've got a little bit of doubling right here. So this one's for Angie. Explain a little bit about a couple of emails that I've received in the last few days or last week or 2 weeks about reveals. Reveal coins, after they leave my desk, after we go through these rolls, they get packed up and they get sent once a week to Florida, where all of the coins are examined for a second time under a microscope by a professional. And then any dies that are identified as die varieties, such as this coin right here, will be given new flip inserts with that die number on them. Now, should we happen to use any of these coins in the process of creating coppercoins.com or working on the website, we will then make note of that on your flip insert, which will be signed by hand by yours truly. I'm going to pull that one out too. It's a double split serif. And so what you will end up receiving if we use your coin in the photography for coppercoins.com is a coin that has my signature on it, and it's going to look a little bit like this. That can take up to another week because well, we don't live very close to one another. We're, I don't know, 1,000 miles apart. So for me to send the coins the first time around, I like to send them in bulk groups. And then for me to sign flip inserts and send those flip inserts, I send them with the following week's package. Then Eric will send your coins to you after that, which, according to the United States Postal Service, 5 to 7 days wasn't fast enough, or wasn't slow enough. So, wasn't slow enough. So they have added another week onto processing first-class packages, which these will be first-class flats. And that means that you could be 3 to 5 weeks after a reveal before you see the result of that reveal in your hands. It's another one of the damaged lower serif vent marks. That one's for Penny Hoarder. That's coin number 16. After this reveal for today, I'm going to be spending the remainder of the day working on packaging and getting your shipments out to you from the, there's another nice RPM there, from the show that we had Tuesday. And then for Sunday's auction, this Sunday, we're going to have a relatively short auction, but it's going to include some items that, well, you don't see in my auctions often at all. In fact, some items have never before been auctioned by Copper Coins. We're giving it a shot for the first time to see how that works out. But here's one of those items right here. 1917. Large size $1 note. Here's another one of the items. This is a very nice XFAU condition, large size 1923 series silver certificate. Those items and a lot more will be available coming up this Sunday. One of the feature items to that show is going to be a 1874, I almost just said 74, but an 1874 uncirculated Indian head cent. 1874 uncirculated Indian head cent. Here's one for Angie again. Angie gets one of those that has a very strange little mark on the inside of the mint mark. I think we're going to check these out to see what we can figure out with this. That there could be an RPM going on there, but I'm not sure just looking at it here. So I'm going to go ahead and separate it. Get a much better two-eyed look at it later on. Right now I'm kind of looking on a screen of a projection of what the left eye in the microscope is seeing. So sometimes it can be a little misleading. All right, so here we go. Next coin up goes to Donnie Wayne. And this one appears to be normal at the mint mark. No doubling on the eye. No other doubling on the obverse. And we move on. Number 20. This one goes to Eric. And Eric's coin is a little bit dingy looking. A few spots here and there. A big scrape out in front of the face. That's not going to get a gem grade. Unfortunately, has nothing on it. Number 21 now for Sureg. Sureg gets, appears to be a normal one. Let's move this out a little bit again. Just a little bit more of an overview. Don't need to see everything at the molecular level necessarily until we find something that we question. Then we can move in. Here's one for Mike Birchman. Mr. Birchman gets looks like another one's got some fuzz on the inside of the mint mark. We'll hold that out as a just in case. Number 23, now back to Eric. I have to play a no on this one too. Nothing going on there that I can see. Number 24 now. Back to Yo Man. Let's see if Yo Man gets a decent coin out of this roll. Oh, it's a nice coin. No die variety, but it's a nice coin. A little tiny bit of what looks like could be a doubled eye. I'll set that aside and check on it. It could be a die variety. It could be a doubled eye. Doubled die. Doubled die. Doubled eye, doubled die. There you go. Do you like how I pronounce my words? Say, use your words, Chuck. Use your words. Now we've got a little minor split there. I'm passing by a number of these because they just don't look like enough. They might be, but we'll definitely catch it coming out the processing phase. Stephen Dallas up next. Let's see what Stephen Dallas gets. See, you got that little minor split. You see the little split up on the upper serif. Just a little tiny thing. It's the same die. This one's the same die as the last coin we saw. Now number 27, Malcolm. So yeah, the story on the computer cleanup. Well, I did the cleanup as instructed. That looks like another one of the ones with a little fuzzy thing going on the inside of the mint mark. We'll hold it out again. I downloaded the Glary utilities and I started using that, and I did a complete memory defrag and a registry cleanup. Then I did a complete disk cleanup. Then I went in and specifically deleted some temp files that I had and moved some image files. What that resulted in, we'll keep this one out too. What that resulted in was a reduction of disk space use that was quite significant. I have a disk volume that has 428 available gigabytes of space. So it's a 500 gig drive. So I have 428 available gigabytes of space, and used was 412. That's right. I only had about, 13 gig free. Not good. Of course, back in the day, if you had a 13 gig free, you had a screaming machine. But now, 13 gig free on a nearly 500 gigabyte hard drive is not a good thing. So I went through and I cleaned up everything, and I got rid of a number of gigabytes of unneeded data between temporary folders and Windows Update temporary files and images that I had stored, coin images that I had stored in the computer that were 5 years old, and the ever-present issue with remembering that the OBS, which is the open source broadcast studio that I use to broadcast on YouTube, was recording every video of every moment that I did live and was storing them on my C drive, which I can probably change, but did not remember that was happening. And given that I did not remember that was happening, I left them sitting there until they took up a critical amount of space. Basically, everything, every live I had done since the beginning of 2021 was on my hard drive. Carl, it was Glary Utilities 5, version 5. And when I went to defrag the drive, this was one that kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop, because I didn't know that this was the case. But when I went to defrag the hard drive, the C drive, it came back and it told me that it's a solid state drive, and defragging it would lessen its lifespan, which I didn't know. So I need to know, should I be defragmenting a solid state drive and just ignoring what it's telling me, or should I leave it alone and not defragment it because it shortens the lifetime of the drive? Hi, Eric. Yeah, we have found a couple of decent, one decent RPM, one nicely possible RPM. It shows on the inside of the mint mark more than anywhere else. I'm not 100% on it, but because there's a lot of them, but it's this right here. The nice mint mark, I believe somebody came back and told me it was RPM number 14. I think that's what Brian said. RPM 14. There's another one for Carl. Got nothing going on there. So yeah, evidently, if you want to keep a computer running, you have to keep it cleaned out. I've got a whole bunch of image files that are being stored on my data drive on my server that can probably be deleted because I have moved them to cloud storage. Once I move stuff to cloud storage, I don't need to keep that space occupied on my data drive, but I do not put them on my program drive. My C drive is my program drive, and my E drive is my data drive. Now my C drive is a 500 gig drive, and it works pretty well if it's not completely full. And I have an E volume, which is, I believe, 5 terabytes. Yeah, I don't need more space. I just need to manage the space I have better. All right, got nothing else going on there. Mr. Perez. Nothing for us there. Now number 39 on to Donnie Wayne. Nothing there. Number 40 now to Sureg. Number 40 goes to Sureg, and this is his coin. Nothing really going on there. Now number 41 to Carl. 41. Got nothing on 41. Looking for a nice die variety here. No love. Got one coin in the roll that shows a really nice one. Another one of our minor double split serif RPMs. Nice marker. Big honker coming straight out of the nose. Hello, Scott. And number 43, Tim Crowell. Timothy gets, yeah, it's a normal coin. Now, how about number 44? Number 44 to Carl. And got another really minor double split serif RPM. May or may not be a listable cat. And that's for Carl. Now 45. int. Nope. On to 46. Okay, thanks, Crispy. I hadn't heard that before. I see. Okay. Does that mean that I don't want SSDs in the future, or SSDs still the thing and I just don't defrag them? Do I want a drive that I should defrag, or do I want a drive that I should not? My understanding is that SSDs are faster. That's 47. On up to 48 now. Adam? And the last two coins. First of those, number 49, is going to go to Malcolm. And Malcolm gets, oh, it's another normal one. I've seen this happen a few times. You get a nice RPM and it's the only coin in the roll. It's like that. It does happen. Infrequently, but it does happen. And it happened this time too. One nice looking RPM in the roll. The rest of the roll is either very minor RPMs or nothing at all. And so what we end up with is a pretty decent sized stack of normal coins here. Oh, come on. There we go. Got a slippery desk. A nice RPM number 14, I believe. 14. Coin number 2. And then the remainder of what appear to be minor die varieties that we're going to have to select later as to whether they are listable. Coin number 33, 27, 22, 19, 18, 10, 7, 17, 13, and 24. So that's what it is. That's what it looks like. I appreciate it, folks. Thank you guys for dropping by. We will be having an auction this coming Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where we will have a number of very nice coins, including this one right here. Uncirculated condition, 1874. Indian head cent. Also in this auction, nice 1919S in extremely fine to AU condition. Let me get this set up here real quick. Get you better images. There we go. Nice 1919S Lincoln. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, here's another one of my Indians. How about this? 1890. Nice 1890 uncirculated. Lincoln's, or Indian cent. I said Lincoln. I knew I would do that. Here's another nice one. 1909. Uncirculated. Lincoln cent. Nice luster on this one too. So these are all going to be coming up on Sunday. Coming up for auction on Sunday. Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you guys are there. An 1891 Indian. Nice 1891 Indian. Lots of other stuff too. I'm just showing you some of the highlights. There's a 1934 D. Lincoln cent. It's a nice AU-ish coin. A little cut right on the middle of his nose. But other than that, really pretty. Nice luster on this one. So why don't you mark your calendars and join me back here at 7 p.m. Sunday evening for the auction of these items and more. Right now I have 18 coins and 5 paper notes that'll be running. But I will have more as time progresses. I'm going to go ahead and get the list up there today. Don't count on that list being complete, though, because I will be adding more as I find more to run. Why are some of the 1919 some of the highest of all Lincolns graded? Well, that's a good question. There was an original roll opened of 1919 Philadelphia Lincoln cents about, I want to say about 10 to 15 years ago. And those coins were just absolutely flashy, beautiful coins, and they were all submitted together. And there was one MS-69 came out of that, a few MS-68s, and a bunch of 67s came out of that bunch. And that is the only teens year where there was a full roll kept like that, opened like that, and submitted all at once that I know of in the last 20 years or so. And that's the story on that. So I'm going to go ahead and take off, get my chores done, get everything done I need to get done, and perhaps I'll be able to come back today and do a couple of more reveals. I have a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 reveals left to do. So I'll try to get those reveals done. Most are 8. I've got 8 left to do. So I'll try to get many of those reveals done today, most tomorrow, and then probably try to get them finished on Monday. So that Monday evening we'll have a clean slate for the reveal show that will be coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday. And so according to the schedule, the way I like to schedule things, we're looking at an auction on Sunday at 7, the reveal show Monday at 7, and then another auction Tuesday at 7. I'll see how long I can keep that chain going. But that's what we're looking at trying to do. I'll see you folks later. Perhaps later today, if not that, tomorrow. I appreciate it. Have a good day.